Arcade! Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Handsome Homebuyer Podcast. I am Charles, your host, aka the Handsome Homebuyer, aka Captain Permit, aka El Judío Maravilloso. All right, Captain Permit 516-513-8838. If you need permits, if you're in the real estate business, if you're an attorney, if you're a paralegal, if you are anybody who touches real estate, you need us, right? If you have a piece of property, if you're a commercial broker, if you're a realtor, if you're a homeowner and you're looking to sell your house or your commercial property or your land for development, I want to buy it. I'm easy, I'm simple, I'm fast, I'm cash. 516-777 sold. All right, now that we're up with the shameless plugs. Today's guest, you don't know this, but I've admired you for some time. We've met a few times, but you and I had a moment, right? So we sat on a panel together, yes, and we had a moment where it was just you and I, and we're sitting there talking, and not to go like into specifics, but we kind of looked at each other and we had a conversation about, you know, success and the level that we're at and the level that we're trying to achieve and what it takes to get there, the people that we need around us to help us get there, and what we give up personally and professionally to get to the level that we want to be. I'm not sure if you remember that.
I do.
But at that moment, because you're like, you're a larger than life character in Long Island real estate, right? So,
appreciate it.
And in that moment, it was very like, it was very raw. It was very like, you know, it was very human. It was like just like a very cool connection for the two of us. So with that said, we have powerhouse attorney, definitely without a doubt, the most handsome and well-dressed on Long Island. He's a fellow bar mitzvah boy, which always helps. He has a work ethic that would rival Gary V, right? And he was recently nominated for Man of the Year for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. ASAF German.
Good morning.
Good to have you, man.
It's an honor to be here.
I appreciate you coming out. So, where to begin? My biggest thing with you you have an unbelievable work ethic.
Appreciate it.
Unbelievable work ethic. Standard operating procedure. You're a very, very good businessman, right? I admire you for that. And you do it in an industry that's very difficult. And I have these conversations with attorneys all the time because when you're an attorney, it's not like I owned a Mako or, you know, I do real estate investing. So I have a team of contractors, I have a foreman, I can delegate a lot of stuff, right? But when you're an attorney, you're selling the knowledge, right? So it's very, very hard. Like you have a massive operation. I'm not sure, but I would argue to say you probably do more closings than anybody else. And you do it in an industry in real estate where it's like, it's really high volume, right? It's not like, you know, you're Johnny Cochran on a specialty case and that's like all you're into. You do a ton of transactional real estate. You do a lot of stuff, but you do a lot of transactional real estate. Correct me if I'm wrong at any time.
You're right.
Correct. Right? And you've gotten it to the point where you can do that kind of volume. Like typically what I would say to like someone that's an attorney is I would say you get unbelievably good at one like niche kind of thing and you just charge an insane amount of money to do it because there's only 24 hours in a day.
Correct.
And you can't delegate everything that you've learned over the last X amount of years in law school and whatever, right?
Correct.
But you've gotten to the point where you do, I mean, I've heard rumors or like legends of like 8-10 closings a day. I don't know if that's true, but like that's what's on the street. You know, there's Bigfoot who's like, you know, 300 feet tall, and then there's ASAF German doing 10 closings a day. You know, just defying all logic. So, I guess comment on that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, as I indicated beforehand, I feel very blessed to have what I have. It took years to get us where we are, and I'm grateful and thankful and humbled pretty much by my staff. My staff allows me to do what we do. You can be the best of anything, but you can't do all yourself. A term that I use all the time when I speak, when I educate, is teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
So I'm very big on who you align yourself with, just like anything else in life. You can be the best at what you do, but to be up here, you have to surround yourself with other amazing people, otherwise you're limited. As you indicated about time, you know, time is our most precious commodity. There's only so many hours in a day. But when you have other people on your team that can handle certain things for you, with you, alongside you, you could just do more. And still always remain very efficient and professional and ethical.
So, without giving away like any crazy trade secrets, like, so...
Well, I'll tell you mine. Mine are very simple. There's no secret to it. I share it with everyone. I want everyone around me to do well. You know, I don't need every closing. I don't want every closing.
Well, you can't physically do it. It's not possible. Nobody
so,
can.
I mean, my recipe is very, very simple. I mean, I came out of law school, I had an opportunity to represent a lender doing a large amount of volume. And I learned by making mistakes. That's how I learned. You know, when I started practicing, we didn't have the social media knowledge where you could just Google how to. You know, I learned everything by making mistakes. My recipes, you know, I'm an early riser. I get in early in the morning. I align myself with amazing people.
You're a 4 a.m. guy?
I get in at 4 a.m.
Do you, and I always talk about this because I want to be this guy, but my body just says F you in the morning. Do you work out at 5 a.m.? Are you that guy who's like in the gym?
So, on the nights where I go to sleep at a decent time, yes. That's how I start my day.
Define decent time for you. Because I feel like you're the guy who sleeps like 3 hours. If you slept 6, you'd be like, it's too much. I'm banged up.
I've been like this since I was a little boy. When I was a little boy growing up in Brooklyn, I delivered newspapers at 5 in the morning. So I didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to be this crazy guy who's going to wake up 4 in the morning. This is just me. Okay. I've always been this way, and I feel very productive when I get certain things done in the morning before most people are up. Yeah. I'm at my office. I could do 100 things at once before the phones start ringing.
How many hours a night do you sleep on average?
On average, I'd probably say about 5.
And you're good.
I'm an amazing sleeper. I can fall asleep on this table in 2 seconds and sleep as if I was sleeping on a $50,000 mattress.
I'm with you. I could fall asleep in this chair right now. But like if I don't get like 7-8 hours, I can't do it. And I try. I want, like Brian Karp. I had him on the podcast. You know Brian Karp? Savage. He sells 150 houses a year. He'll like send me pictures and text messages at like 3:15 in the morning, like that he's working on his computer or that he's like in the gym, and you'll see like weights. I'm like, I can't do it.
It's not everybody. That's what makes the world go round. Yeah. There are different people who do different things. If everyone was the same, the world would be boring.
It'd be a boring place.
Yeah, it'd be boring. So, I've always been this way. And, you know, when I get home, I try to get to bed by about 11 o'clock. With the campaign going on, I'm putting in extra hours, but I do that with a smile because, as I reference, it's going to be arguably the most amazing thing I'm ever involved in my entire life after the birth of my children. So I do it with a smile. Nice.
So a couple things I want to go into the campaign and how that came about and how you got into it and the process, because we were talking about it before and it's amazing. But there's certain things I'm curious about. So when I meet successful people, I meet very, very driven people. I always am kind of curious, like, you know, what's their why? What's the drive? Like, what's the background that like shaped them to be this way? A lot of times it's like, you know, it's family, it's where you came from, it's things you've seen. It's like, I'm always curious of like, for my why, it's like, I mean, money's great, right? But like, once you have a certain amount of money, you know that you're not going to starve. That's a good feeling. But for me, I want to open a private equity fund. I want to do the hardest thing you can do in the hardest place to do it, right? And everybody has their unique kind of why. So I'm always interested to hear very successful people and why.
I grew up with nothing. I feel very driven. I'm a very passionate guy. And I generally love what I do. You know, it makes things a lot easier when you enjoy what you do. Yeah. So between the way I was raised, I had an opportunity. I never want to go backwards. I want to kind of continue to build and improve. And it's pretty much a combination of my passion. I'm a very passionate guy. I've always had a good work ethic. And I've been given an opportunity to do something very special. So I want to do it. And I surround myself with the people and align myself with the people who will help accomplish that. They're like my family. I consider them my family.
Where you grew up in Long Island? You grew up in Brooklyn?
I grew up in Canarsie, Brooklyn.
That's right. That's where I'm born.
Yeah. Went to South Shore High School.
I wasn't there for that one. I moved that when I was 3.
And then I moved to North Babylon. Okay. And I graduated from North Babylon High School.
Really? So what, you came out here when what? You were like 10th grade?
11th grade.
11th grade.
Yeah.
You miss Brooklyn?
I love Brooklyn.
Yeah?
I also love North Babylon.
What's your I know you're Jewish, but what's your background? What's your nationality?
I was born in Israel.
Oh, okay. 100%.
100%.
Interesting. And then what brought so you were born there. So you were
born in Israel. My family moved to Brooklyn in 1980.
Wow. So what was that transition like? What was
I was a 4-year-old child. I wasn't really sure what the transition.
Do you speak Hebrew?
I understand it.
Yeah.
I speak broken. So if I spoke to you in Hebrew, you'd probably ask me what am I saying.
Was this is this one of those things where like your parents didn't want you to know because they wanted
No,
to
they
be
wanted me to know.
to you?
We spoke
Okay.
it at home as I was younger.
I guess that's kind of like I guess it's also kind of a hard. I mean, unless you're surrounded by you have your family, but unless you're surrounded by like a network of people that speak Hebrew, it's a tougher language to
Correct.
to keep going.
Correct.
You know?
So again, if you spoke, I would understand everything you said. If I had to talk back to you, I'd have a problem.
Very that's interesting. So you like what like caused your family to come here? What was that?
Like most people come to this country for a better life.
Yeah.
So my father had a vision of a better life coming to this country and opportunities. I mean, it's supposed to be the land of opportunities,
Yeah.
right? And that's what caused him to move to the United States.
Wow, interesting. So Brooklyn, then Long Island. I'm surprised because so my parents moved out here from Canarsie when they were 30. I was 3, and my mother would always say she's like, I cried for like 3 months because she's like it was so quiet. Like it was almost so quiet that you felt like something bad was about to happen. She's like it was so quiet that I'm like, why is it so quiet? Like when things get quiet in Brooklyn, you're like.
Yeah.
Something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, it's a different life, a different world, but a good life in a good world.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So, so we've been here, and I don't know, it's an interesting change. But we go back to Brooklyn. You find yourself going back to Brooklyn because I feel like everybody who's from Brooklyn just wants to go back there, misses it.
I love it. I
Yeah?
love it, and it's changed certain areas in Brooklyn. I just went to Williamsburg with my daughter.
Okay.
To Brooklyn Bowl. It's very happening and lively and just incredible.
So it kind of brings me to another point. The interesting thing I feel like I know about you, even though I don't know you very well, is you seem to. So you have an unbelievable work ethic, right? I think that would again rival anybody. You're a 7-day-a-week guy.
I love what I do. It makes my job a lot easier.
But you seem to have a pretty good balance.
Oh, balance is key.
In regards to which, they talk about work-life balance, and then I would argue, I'm like, is there really anything such as work-life balance? And if you really love it, it's never really balanced. But you seem to like have the family thing in check, have your personal, your friends.
It's very important.
And then you're running at 100 miles an hour
with a
in
smile.
Business. With a smile.
I love what I do. And balance is key. If you want to be up here, you need balance.
Which kind of brings me back to my original point, which is, for me, the most intriguing thing is, so you know what a franchise model is, or a franchise?
I do not.
Okay, so this is probably something that you just innately do because you know it. I guess because we're Jewish and we just know these things, right?
Okay.
But I read this book called The E-Myth Revisited, right? It's what it basically says is you should design every business as if it's going to be a franchise or that you're looking to replicate it, even though you're not. So what you do is you do every job, and then you write a manual and you hire someone to replace yourself.
Okay.
So that's the concept of standard operating procedure. And with that, you can obviously handle much more work, make more money, impact more people, right? Which is kind of what you're doing the way you set up your campaign, which we'll talk about in a little bit, to have the most impact by having the best team of people around you, by delegating as much as possible, because we all know that we only have 24 hours in a day.
Correct.
So, how did you kind of know to set up your business like that? I know you have 8 paralegals.
Yes.
Which is, so you're the only attorney, right? You don't have other attorneys under you, or you do?
We have several attorneys, associates.
Okay. And then you have 8 paralegals that toe the line.
They're once in a lifetime amazing people.
Which is, so I'm just curious to know, as you were coming up and developing, building your business, how did you know, what did you say to yourself to be like, okay, I need this person to do this? Like, how did you just know these things versus?
Well, certain things developed over time. Something I pride myself on is my work ethic and our professionalism and our communications with clients and real estate professionals and mortgage professionals. Certain things that I see lack overall is communication. So I pride myself on the communication. And the service is, obviously in our business, we're only as good as our last deal. We're in a very finicky business. Okay. So I want to make sure when I work on a transaction and I work with a professional, whether it be a real estate professional or mortgage professional, I always think long term.
Okay.
I'm not just concerned about this deal, I'm concerned about future deals and creating a business. So over time, I started with 1 paralegal, then 2, then 3, and then as things change and develop, I had to change the way I do certain things, because now one person can't do everything. I just need everything to flow like a well-oiled machine. and it's developed and it's changed throughout the years.
And I mean, another thing that we talked about that time was just, I think this is lacking in business in general, is the way you take care of the people that are on your team, the way you speak to them, how you feel they're like part of your family.
They are my family.
And that how you're very vocal about how without them, there is no you.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to be up here, there's only so much you can do. You may be the best at what you do, but you can't do everybody's job here at the same time.
No, it's impossible.
You just can't. And we talk about time, and time being our most precious commodity. When I was younger in my career, I would try to do everything I could myself. I try to micromanage every little thing.
When did you start? Mid-20s, late 20s?
20s, yeah, mid-20s.
Okay.
But then I've learned quickly, if you do that, you're limiting what you can do.
Yeah.
And I want this to be limitless.
How what was it like when you started delegating and you felt like you were kind of giving up control? So I guess like to your point before, you're like, I'm micromanaging everything because I want it to be the best. But no one is as great as anyone's team are, it's never going to be you. Right? So how did you handle kind of the giving up control, delegating?
Well, it came over time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And I was also very blessed to have staff and paralegals and associates that were just incredible. They made it easier. Mm-hmm. They made me feel more comfortable. They were very knowledgeable and experienced. And when I do hire, I hire very experienced people.
Yeah.
But just like anything else in life, it's very easy to find people. It's very hard to find good people. When you find good people, I don't ever let them go.
That's what I was going to ask you, because like I would argue that if you're a good person, you're a certain kind of person. When you put things out there, good people just come to you. It's like a magnet.
I agree.
Right? Like we were talking before in regards to the campaign, you're like it's just snowballing. Like people are just getting behind it, and it's turning into this larger than life thing that I never anticipated. So I think there's a lot of people that I talk to that are looking to hire and they complain. They're like, I can't find the right person. I don't know if it's like their attitude or whatnot, but like when you hire, where are you looking? How are you sourcing people? What do you think, like your advice?
I've gotten pretty much all of them through word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. I mean, the last three people that I've hired, I got through word of mouth in the industry. And two of them were timing. A lot of things in life are timing, whether it be good timing or bad timing. The last several paralegals that I've hired, I am absolutely blessed to have them. I tell them I love them all the time.
I know, I remember you telling me.
I generally do, because I do. They are incredible people with many years of experience. People who are never without a job. We just connected at the right time where something was going on and it was time for them to move on, and at a time where I needed them. So the last few paralegals I've hired are literally once in a lifetime people who, I mean, when I hired them, I had 10 of my lawyer friends call me, cursing me out. Say, where in the world did you get her? How'd that happen? And it was luck. And what you just referenced about the people you attract. Yeah. They told me that they felt very blessed to work for me, and I told them I was very blessed to have them. It's a genuine feeling of happiness. Listen, you want to be happy at work, So our jobs are stressful. So I treat them with the respect they deserve. I treat them like family because they are my family.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they're taken care of financially well, but like I know that it comes to a point where it's not about the money.
Yeah, the money is an aspect of it, but it's more so it's the atmosphere, it's the environment. Yeah. If you were in my office throughout the day, as much as we do, people are laughing and giggling and they're happy. When you come to work, you want to be happy. When you have that happy environment, it's more productive. It's just the aura, the way you communicate with clients and other professionals. It's a great feeling. You come to my office, as much as we're doing, people are happy and laughing, and we communicate. We're like, it's like a big family. And
they're probably more productive for that reason.
Very productive.
I remember there was like kind of like a wave, even to now, where people have that kind of like Steve Jobs mentality or attitude, where they're like, you have to be like a tyrant, you have to yell, you have to scream.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Right? I just feel like it never made sense.
And myself, I'm very calm. Very calm guy.
I want to talk about. So you have a massive social media presence, right? Know it or not, you have a massive social media presence. So I've been having a lot of conversations with realtors and a lot of people. Like now, I feel like there's a big changing of the guard, and I feel like, I don't know if you feel it. I'm 39, you're 42.
Yes.
And I feel like in most of the industries, maybe it's a baby boomer thing, maybe it's a timing thing, that there's not a lot of like, I'm a 39-year-old real estate developer. I don't know that many guys in that, maybe I just don't know them, but I don't know that many people in that age bracket. It seems like everybody's much older and has been doing it for a long time.
Okay.
If their fathers or grandfathers weren't already in the business.
I agree with that.
Right? Same thing, like when I look at attorneys, I see, there's you, and there's like a handful of guys, if any, that are on your level at your age, and then there's much older guys that have been into it. But in the middle, there's like a big void.
Correct. I agree with that.
And then I feel like the world is changing so fast that this social media thing is so important that if you don't, build the content and put yourself out there before you know it, you're gonna be lost.
I agree with that.
Again, to your point before about you, my point before about you innately understanding standard operating procedure and how to set up businesses, you're doing it with social media.
Yes.
So like how do you feel about social media in general, its importance, the different platforms, like how do you do you just do it because you do it, it's who you are, or do you have a strategy to it?
No, I just do it. It's just me. I'm just a very real, this is just, I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I love it. I like sharing it with it. I like people to learn from it. Yeah. I want everyone around me to know what they're doing. I share the knowledge that I have. I'm not looking to, I don't have any tip-top secrets.
And there's, so you and our mutual good friend, Beth Lowe, I always laugh at her and joke to her. I'm like, listen, you could post like, the sky is blue, right? I'll check back like 15 minutes later. There's 300 comments about how the sky is blue. Like, it doesn't matter what you post. You're the same guy. Doesn't matter what you put up there. It's like people are just, they're engaged. They're all over it. They want to interact with you. And the very cool thing that you do, like a celebrity that I would really, really respect, is you reply to every single person's comment.
Well, they're taking time out of their day to comment. I feel like I owe it back to them. To acknowledge.
I agree, but it's it's very nice. It shows a lot of like effort and hard work on your part, right? Going back to the work ethic, and it's intelligent because obviously that's what we're here. Social media, we're making connections with people.
Sure.
Right. So if someone's taking time out of their day and saying, "Hey, listen, thank you for doing this. It impacted me this way, or got me thinking about this, or thanks for the the legal advice, et cetera, et cetera." It's very cool that you do that.
Yeah, and I genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I owe it to these people who are taking time away from their family, from their jobs, from anything to comment.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, and it comes back, and you could see the.
It's come back tenfold.
You can see the momentum.
Yeah, I love it.
So, talk to me about Man of the Year.
Well, I've only been nominated. I'm very far from being Man of the Year. It's a 10-week campaign.
Okay.
For the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, where we are raising money. Mm-hmm. The Leukemia Lymphoma Society's mission is to cure blood cancers, leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, Hodgkin's, and to raise money to help people with the quality of life. Okay. For the families, the patients, their caregivers, and for research and for advocacy. It is going to be it is the most incredible, amazing, rewarding thing I've ever been involved in my life to date after the birth of my children.
So it's interesting because before we were talking about it, I'm like, I didn't even know this existed. And you're like, oh, it's been going for 63 years. And I'm like, I didn't even know it was a thing.
It's so big and so incredible. It's the biggest volunteer health agency dedicated to blood cancers in the world.
But the thing is, until you got involved with it,
which makes me even happier.
Which makes
me even happier because I want there to be more awareness. I want more people to get involved. When more people get involved and they raise more money, we bring us that much closer to curing these cancers and saving these people's lives. I mean, it's unbelievable the connection and how many people have been affected by cancers. The feedback I've had thus far, the team I've put together thus far, it's mind-blowing. It's taken my extreme passion to another level because I know we have the capacity and we have the foundation to save these people's lives. It's a next level passion and affection that I've never had. I never knew I had internally.
What so how does the process start? Meaning, like,
So I was nominated.
so someone nominates you.
So I was nominated by a friend,
Okay.
a very well known and respected commercial builder in Long Island, Coco Construction, Devin Coco.
Oh yeah.
Devin nominated me.
You know him too? We're learning is a very, very it's a very small world. I always say you always have to do the right thing because everybody knows everybody.
It's a very small world. So he nominated me. I sat down and I was very honest with him and the campaign director, Megan Doyle, another incredible woman. I said, listen, before I accept this nomination, I need to talk to a woman who ran and a man who ran. So I can be educated on this. I've never done this. It's beyond my realm of expertise. I don't want to let you down. I don't want to embarrass myself, and I don't want to let LLS down. So they referred me to an amazing woman, Mary Jo White.
Okay.
And an amazing guy, Eric Ben-Savegna. They both ran for Woman of the Year and Men of the Year. I met with them for some input. They got my competitive blood blowing, and I accepted the nomination. And I have 7 people on my team who have already either won or came in second place, who have educated me and provided me with the knowledge to take this to another level. And I put together a team of the most amazing, like-minded, passionate individuals, groups, entities, organizations that together are going to help raise this money. It's a 10-week campaign from March 28th to June 6th. We hope to have the most incredible fundraiser of the year to date. It's on May 4th at Ferrari Maserati,
which is
Plainview.
sick. I saw the picture.
It's going to be next level, amazing, with everyone's help and attendance and donations. It should be historical. The owner of Ferrari is a Long Island resident. He's a cancer survivor, and he's given us his facility. For those of you who have never been to Ferrari Maserati in Plainview, everything about the building it's like a movie. It's incredible.
Sure.
So organizations and restaurants have decided and agreed to be part of this, and it should be historical, next level. Should be the most amazing, fun fundraiser of the year to date.
Yeah, it's very cool to see like how the community. I mean, you're a Huntington Village staple now, right? I feel like that's your town. So it's very cool to see how like all the local businesses kind of pitched in. And to your point before we were talking, it's like I don't think there's anybody you could talk to who hasn't been touched by cancer in one way, shape, or form, whose family hasn't been affected by cancer. So it's just, I mean, it's a massive thing that everybody.
And together, we're gonna have an impact. We're gonna make a difference, and it draws that inner soul and passion of people to want to give back and have that impact, because the things that LLS is doing, we're going to experience them in our life. So we're giving and donating, and we're going to see these results in our lifetime. When LLS was formed in 63 years ago, the survival rate of blood cancers for children was 3%. It was pretty much a death sentence.
That's nuts.
Today, it's 92%. So think about what has happened. So, and we're almost there. We're almost there. So once I found out that we are almost there, I am driven to get us there.
So I feel we're in a very, very fortunate time. Technology, things are happening. I mean, I heard like a week ago they cured AIDS. I'm hoping that in like another year I'll have hair again. Haven't had it in a long time. The way I think, I'm like, listen, if they can cure AIDS, I can get hair, right? Without doing any other collateral damage. So we're very fortunate. We're living in a very, very fortunate time.
Very fortunate. And so what I've done is I've concentrated on putting together the most amazing, passionate, like-minded people who are helping me and this team, which we are called the Dream Team, the name of our team. We're going to help raise this money and try to do historical things. And
so what's the goal? Like, what's the process? What's the next 10 weeks look like? I mean, I know you have a number of different events set up.
Yeah, so the way it works, again, it's a 10-week campaign where we have to raise money. There are numerous avenues to raise this money. And I've been doing this for months. There are very strict guidelines where you couldn't collect any money until March 28th.
Okay.
So it just started.
Okay.
So what I did beforehand, because again, I had the knowledge of these prior people who ran. So what I did for 3 months before this even started is I concentrated on putting together the most amazing team I could.
Okay.
Then when the campaign
Very
started,
smart.
we were ready to rock and roll, you know. And I also worked on getting sponsors, which are organizations and entities and individuals who are going to donate over $3,500. And it would fill out a piece of paper. It comes with marketing benefits, and that way when this campaign started, I've already had teammates. I've assimilated a team, which we call the Dream Team, and I had numerous people who are ready to sponsor. The next portion of the campaign is letter writing.
Okay.
Which each of the team members have sent out letters to their contacts.
Okay.
And their friends and their network. Each person wrote their own letter.
Okay.
And it's went out to friends and contacts. It's another revenue stream where we could raise the money. We can also have fundraisers, learning from what other people on my team did.
Very smart.
Some people had 10 fundraisers and it's wiped them out. Having these fundraisers it takes major time and effort.
Yeah.
So rather than have 10 little ones, I'm having one very, very big one.
Okay.
And that's going to be at Ferrari Maserati. The atmosphere, the vibe, the attention, what we're looking to do. I'm looking for this to be a historical night. I'm using all of my attention and my efforts on that. In addition, I have several team members who are generously taking it upon themselves to have other small fundraisers.
Yeah. No, it's smart because I was thinking about this while you were talking before. It's like sometimes I get caught up in doing a bunch of different things. So, I have ADHD, so I see an idea, or I think just entrepreneurs in general.
I'm the same way.
They see something and they see a void in the market and they want to do it, they want to fill it, they want to make money.
Same way.
Right. But the smart thing is to just really be amazing at one thing. And then when you get to a certain level, you can start to move. But you seem to, I don't know what other business you're into if you are, but you seem to be like very, single-minded, very focused. And that's why your real estate practice has gotten to where it is. And then as far as the fundraiser, you kind of have like the same methodology, which is like, I could do 10 fundraisers, or I can put everything into this and have the Long Island version of the Met Gala and blow it out at Ferrari.
That's the goal. And what an amazing venue to have it then. I mean, it's right off the service road. Have you ever seen the building?
I've driven by it. I've never been in there.
You will now. It's gonna be an incredible night. It's gonna be a life-changing night. One of the boy that is the boy of the year, he'll be there speaking that night. 11-year-old Jesse. I spent the day with him on St. Patrick's Day with my children and Mary Jo.
I saw the picture. Yeah.
He's a game changer. When you hear this little boy speak and you see what he has been through and how much of a warrior and how special he is, and that we have the capacity to help save his life so he can live a long, healthy life, you leave there thinking differently.
So I know we touched on this before, I don't know if we touched on it now. What's the goal? Is there like a certain amount of people? Is there a certain dollar amount?
Yeah, so my goal has continued to increase because of the amazing people that have joined this team. So originally, because ultimately, this isn't about me or the people on the team, it's about the mission and the cause and what we're trying to do, and to raise that money to hopefully cure these cancers and to fund life-saving research. Again, it's all local, and the people who are helping us local, but originally it was to win Man of the Year. And then when I saw how special this team was, it was to break the record. The current record in our region is $217,000.
Okay.
And then after the team continued to become as special it was to raise more than any other team in the country. So the way this works is there are, I believe, 46 different people, areas and regions. There's 2 in New York, there are so many people. There's 1 on Long Island, 1 in the city, and then there's almost 1 in every other state. So I got all of the averages for everyone in the country over the last 10 years, and I did averages, and then I got to a point where I said, you know what, this team is so special. My goal is to raise more than any other team in the United States.
Jesus. So this is a countrywide.
Oh yeah.
Thing.
This is an incredible honor. Yes.
Huh.
I mean, there's going to be a Man of the Year in this region, and then whoever wins their region, they all go against each other for the 46 regions, and whoever raises the most is the Man of the Year in the country.
So that
is my goal.
There's 46 regions. The 10-week period, you go to win this particular region.
Yep. And then that's it. And then after the regions are decided.
Okay.
Then there's no more network, there's no more research for this campaign.
Okay.
But then they see who raised the most in the country, and then they name you.
I got it.
Man of the Year for LLS in America.
For the country. So there's not an additional competition.
Correct.
It's you win here, and then they basically
See who raised
all
the
the
most.
winners stack
Correct.
up, and then they say who raised the
Yeah,
most
and
in the
that is-
country.
That is my goal.
Jesus.
It's amazing. We could do it.
I have no doubt.
If again, it's a team thing, and I love my teammates. I'm honored and humbled and blessed to be aligned with them, because one of the first people I talked to was Mary Jo Way, and she told me, that we needed like-minded, passionate people. So I'm concentrating on putting together like-minded, passionate people, and if everyone does their part, we will crush this. We will accomplish our mission, and we will save these little children's lives and help their families and their caregivers.
I know you do it, man. Like before we had talked about it, I'm like, you're like, yeah, we're trying to do this. I'm like, you only do things one way. Like if you're gonna do it, I mean, you're such a busy guy. If you're gonna devote time and money to something, you're either gonna dominate it or you're not gonna do it at all.
That is me. Period. This has taken my mindset and my passion to another level, because it's an opportunity. It's my first real opportunity in life to generally help potentially millions of people who really need us. Children who are dying, their families, their caregivers. We have the capacity here to have a major impact, to make a significant change and improvement, and hopefully create a legacy. And that is my goal. And my goal is now beyond winning all of this. My goal is surpass. Now I want to create a legacy. So I want to link people and organizations with LLS that will continue to donate to LLS after this campaign is done, so they will never forget the Dream Team ever. And we have a couple of organizations that are aligned to do that. So if we, because none of this isn't about me, I'm just spearheading this campaign. If this team can put all of its efforts and obtain what we're looking to obtain after the campaign is over, when everyone else is done, we're going to continue to still hopefully link up organizations that are going to continue to fund LLS and its research and its mission to find cures. I'll be the happiest guy in the world.
So if people want to get involved now, if they want to show their support, how can they do that? How would you prefer they do that?
Simple. You go right on my Facebook. It's ASAF German. On my Instagram, it's ASAF_German. And there are links to either simply donate, and there's a link to purchase tickets to our fundraiser. The fundraising event is only $100 that night. It'll be the best $100 you ever spend in your life. Forget about it.
It's going to be an event.
It's going to be the most amazing foods, atmosphere, a DJ, at far with friends for the most amazing cause. It'll be ultra rewarding. You'll hear Jesse speak that night. You'll see other people that have been affected. It has changed my perspective of life. It's made me. I've always been a humble guy. I grew up with nothing. I appreciate everything I have. I take nothing in life for granted. I take even less for granted. After experiencing this and sharing time with these children and their families, to see how lucky you are. Always remember that health is wealth.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like we were talking before, as we get older. The other day, my mom's like, 40 came fast. I'm like, Mom, I got 6 months. Just, don't rush me. Although I think it's beautiful, but it's interesting to see, now our friends' parents, people passing, like it's weird. You start to realize how fast life is and how precious health is. And if you don't have it,
you live once. We only live once. And if you live it right, once is enough.
So, and if there's anybody living it right, judging by the social media and what I know of you, it's you, my friend. I
appreciate it very much. Again, it makes it easier that I love what I do. I feel very blessed for what I have. And the people around me make it easy.
I commend you. You have an unbelievable reputation in the industry as a person, as an attorney. If there are realtors out there who need a good attorney, and Lord knows I hear it all the time,
I would honor the opportunity to work with them.
How do they get in touch with you? How do they reach out to you?
You could either call my office, 516-490-1237, or my Suffolk County office at 631-390-7741, or email me, info@germanpc.com. I would honor the opportunity to work with you and your clients, so I could do my part in helping take your business to the next level. I'd be beyond humbled and grateful.
And if you need to take your real estate business to the next level, you know you need Captain Permit. 516-513-8838. If you got a piece of property development opportunity, whether it's commercial, residential, the dirtier, the bigger, the better. I don't care. I'm low maintenance. I want to buy it. 516-777-SOLD. That's a wrap.
Orgulloso estoy de mi herencia judía. Benjamín Lev Ben Shlomo, cuando me llaman a la torre.